Football manager left close to tears by the generosity of his club's supporters. Morecambe boss Jim Bentley was recently hit with a £1,000 fine by the Football Association after being sent to the stands during a game. He was lost for words when he discovered supporters had held a collection at Saturday's match and were paying off the fine for him. Chris Hall has the story.
Football managers often talk about going through a full range of emotions on the touchline, but rarely are they moved to tears.
You've got a tear on your eye, haven't you?
So, what caused this emotional outburst? Well, on hearing that their beloved manager had been punished by the FA, fans of Morecambe Football Club had a whip round to pay off all of his £1,000 fine.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
And it's because everybody cares about this club, everybody cares about you, and we stand shoulder to shoulder.
Brilliant. You know, I've got a great relationship with the fans anyway, as a player, as a coach, as a manager, as a captain, you know, throughout my 15 years at the club. So for them to do something like that for me, you know, really showed what they thought of me. And, you know, when the cameraman has got a camera in front of you and you're getting interviewed on the other side, and I looked up and I seen both of them with a tear in their eye, you know, it just made me aware, so that just stopped me in mid-tracks in the interview.
We were all shocked at the size of the fine that Jim had, to be honest with you. Jim's been here 15 years, and we say we're a family club, and we are a family club, and Jim's a big part of our family. We're not going to make a habit of paying his fines.
You'll be paying for his parking tickets?
No, absolutely not, no. But we thought on this occasion we need to look after our guy. He's looked after us.
This show of support from the terraces is more than just hero worship. It's recognition for all that Jim Bentley is dealing with behind the scenes. You see, this club was taken over at the start of the season by Brazilian businessman Diego Lemos. Since then, there have been instances of the players not getting paid on time and directors quitting the club in frustration at an owner who has effectively disappeared. Nobody here has heard from him in 3 months. How tough has it been for you this season as manager to hold everything together?
It's been very tough. It's gone from bad to worse, in all honesty. At the minute we've got 16 contracted players. We're under the transfer embargo. We've struggled over the last couple of months to pay the wages. The PFA have stepped in. We've had to sell a player, Tom Barker, who's into Preston North End, to be able to pay wages. So, you know, it has really been backs to the wall time, but, you know, when times are tough, you know, it shows how people can come together.
Signs of positivity are starting to break out at the Globe Arena. A 4-1 win over Notts County lifted spirits, if not the fog. And what came after was enough to make anyone misty-eyed. Chris Hall, ITV News, Morecambe.
Yeah, well done to Morecambe supporters. Great gesture. Well, to rugby union now and say...
It's a tough time to be a Morecambe fan. The club's under serious financial pressure, as you may well know, and boss Jim Bentley was banned from the touchline for the weekend's win over Notts County after Christmas sending off. He also faced paying a £1,000 fine until those same supporters organised a whip round and paid the money on his behalf. The gesture left Jim speechless, and I'm glad to say he composed himself by the time I turned up on his doorstep today. Jim Bentley, a renowned hard man as a player, isn't often brought to tears, but after the game on Saturday, the Morecambe manager was holding them back. This was why.
The fans today would like to pay your fine.
Thank you very much.
£1,000 handed over after a whip round by supporters, enough for Jim to pay his FA fine, a gesture that came completely out of the blue.
Everybody cares about you, and we stand shoulder to shoulder.
Brilliant.
What have you got to say to the fans?
And speaking to me at his house today, he was still emotional. You've got the money there, Jim. When it was handed over to you, I mean, it was a complete surprise, wasn't it? Well, how did you feel?
Emotional, as you can see, but it was a fantastic gesture. It really shows what good people Morecambe people are, and the fans of the football club. You know, totally unexpected, but very much appreciated.
It certainly isn't surprising the Morecambe boss was touched. He's been a big part of the Shrimps for a decade and a half, as a player, coach and manager.
I've been there since 2002, as a player, as a captain at Wembley when we got promoted. I've got a lot of good friends up there. It's like my second home. You know, I've done a lot of work in the community.
We all know the financial problems at the club. difficulties for you in terms of bringing in players, you and the players not knowing when you and if you're going to be paid. Did that make this gesture, the £1,000, even more special?
It did, yeah, because, you know, as you say, it's been a very difficult time. You can get a little bit down and a little bit depressed with regards to the situation, but when things like this happens, it makes it all worthwhile and really gives you a boost. You know, as I say, I've got a great relationship with the fans of Morecambe, and for them to do this for me was absolutely brilliant.
As was the team's 4-1 victory over Notts County, a morale-boosting result backed by a show of support from Shrimps fans that at probably the most difficult time in the club's history was on the money. Nice report on some positive news at Morecambe. Need to make it clear as well, Jim's handing that money over to the club secretary tomorrow and then the fine will be paid.
Just to be clear.
Lovely speech.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Now the glamour